One of my main functions is to help translate the policy that's developed at the level of the Secretary and indeed at the level of the White House into practice on the ground around the nation. As it relates to the pandemic, we've been given very clear guidelines for planning and preparedness from, number one, the President of our nation.
There is no pandemic flu in our country or in the world at this time. But if we wait for a pandemic to appear, it will be too late to prepare.
We've taken that plan now to another level. Each agency, including the Department of State and many others in federal government, are in the process of developing their pandemic preparedness and strategy plans, plans that would implement their activities if a pandemic were to occur.
I'm going to protect my family, whatever it takes to protect my family. And people are going to do that. You saw that in New Orleans with Katrina. Perfect example. And that was just a low scale of what this pandemic could be, is what I'm understanding.
The hard truth here is that the capacity doesn't exist within the United States to produce vaccines at sufficient speed and in sufficient quantity to reach every American. That condition exists all over the world.
I mean, what you're going to have gangs. Gangs are going to take advantage of it. Law enforcement's going to be reduced in resources and then tapped higher for need.
The administration plan, to be released in more detail this week, includes more funding for state and local emergency plans.
You can see that this area, too, is a very large fenced area with railroad track running the length of the fence and plenty of warehouses. This facility was supposed to have closed in June of 1993, yet instead several $1 million in federal funds have been spent on supposed renovations over the past 2 years. Helicopter windsocks and markers are evident throughout the property. This small building is the only way into a particular fenced area. Inside this building, we see more of the motion-activated detectors, electronic turnstiles, and prison bars. All of the renovations to this property have involved putting in new fencing, electronic turnstiles, concrete flooring in unused warehouse buildings, and putting in large gas furnaces on buildings that were never heated any time in the past 20 years. Outside this building is fencing and a cattle run section of fence, all topped by barbed wire, pointing inward not to keep people out, but to keep people in.
Also known as war devils, trained to maintain order during civil disturbances. The war devils learned how to respond to riots, guard facilities, and provide security with non-lethal force. Techniques necessary for current operations and goals for Homeland Security. Reporting from the North Carolina National Guard Public Affairs, I'm Army Sergeant Catherine Wells.